Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler and today I'm going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons 5e. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about the background, the Sage. Now, for anybody who knows anything about me, I really like playing the Monk, but my top favourite selection is the Wizard, which means when it comes to selecting a background for my Wizard, I tend to go with getting myself the Sage, because you're a wizard. You should know lots of different things. And I love the Sage. It's pulled me out of so many different problems. It's made me more versatile than I was before. And of course, the wizard is versatile and broad and can do just about anything. Okay, obviously not quite so much the case if you are level 1, but you get the idea, right? The wizard is a really cool class, and the Sage background goes fantastic with the wizard. The foundation of any character is their background and their life experiences, what they've done in their lives, how they have approached things. And the great thing about Dungeons & Dragons 5e is they have built in this mechanical aspect, which is the background, which gives you not just a bit of flavour and interest and help you sort of use some charts and negotiate and form sort of a decent background that makes sense for your character that you can role play and interact with the other characters with and the story itself. What they've also done is they've provided you with mechanical aspects, and that's actually a good thing too. So if you turn to page 137 of the Player's Handbook, you'll find details on the Sage. There's quite a bit of information there, like all of the backgrounds. You've been spending years to learn your art. You're learning about the multiverse, ancient lore, all sorts of different things. You've been poring over books and scrolls. You've been looking at tablets, wall carvings. Everything is a secret to be unlocked. So you spend your time in books and studying quite a lot. Not a bad way to live if that's the sort of thing you like. And the Sage loves it. Scribes and experts pique your interest in the mastery of the fields of your study. But what sort of field of study have you picked? There are so many to pick, right? We're not just talking about somebody who's an expert in something. There are so many different aspects to your Sage. So what is the nature of your training? Are you an alchemist who studies the mixing of liquids and substances and how they interact? Are you an astronomer who studies the stars and the sky and the planets and the multiverse? Are you an academic who just spends their life in books, reading and studying and doing whatever just for the sake of it? Are you a librarian in a famous and ancient library and look after the tombs or tomes? There might be some tombs there as well, tomes, and books that reside there. Are you a professor, somebody who has hit the peak of their profession and is now teaching somebody else? Or do you spend your time researching, poring over books, poring through the experimentation, basically everything regarding the experimentation and sort of modification of magic and the world and nature around you? Or are you a wizard, somebody who calls on the powers of a verse and pull it to your will, unlocking it, finding out those ancient secrets, making things happen that probably shouldn't happen? Or are you just a scribe, somebody who's spent their time writing out ancient scripts, copying books, writing your own books possibly? All of these are possibilities for the Sage. And there are like a truckload of inspiration in fiction. When it comes to fictional characters, whether that be books or movies, there are so many different really cool ideas you can pull from. So what are the sorts of things that your Sage gets? Well, they're going to get skill proficiencies. You can pick Arcana and History. So when you're picking your character class, try not to overlap that, because that's going to be kind of a waste, isn't it? So you're going to get Arcana and History, which is a no-brainer. These are things you're going to be very, very good at. You're also going to get access to some languages. Why not? 2 languages of your choice. Now, a lot of people I know consider languages to be sort of a pointless endeavour. But I can tell you now that if you can communicate with the monsters, NPCs and villains that you are engaging with, you're less likely to engage in a battle and more likely to get useful information that will help you progress throughout your adventure. So I don't consider getting 2 languages and a background a waste at all. I think it's actually fantastic. What sort of equipment are you going to have access to? Well, you get a bottle of black ink, which makes a lot of sense. You get a quill, a small knife, some common clothes. Not so happy about the common clothes, but that doesn't matter. You get 10 gold pieces and a letter from a dead colleague with a puzzle you have not solved yet. So this is what I love about the Sage in particular. The fact that they have built in so many different things that you can call upon and use in the game. And that particular item, that letter in itself, is a whole story and an adventure in itself. So therefore, as a dungeon master, when you see a player who has the Sage, you know they have this letter with a puzzle that hasn't been solved yet. And you can tie that into your adventures so easily. What about the features? Well, the feature you get as a Sage is Researcher. This is basically your ability to recall or learn lore. It's just easier for you to do compared to everybody else. That's because you are a Sage. You are somebody who's good at researching. You know which library to go to, which tomes and books to open. If you don't know the information, you know where to find it and whom has it. And it's only a matter of time before you will get access to it. As Hermione Ranger would know very well. She spent a lot of time in books and libraries, didn't she? Libraries, scriptoriums, universities, they are your playground. This is where you hang out. This is where you are at your strongest. Dr. Strange spent a lot of time studying and researching before he became the individual he is now. And when it comes to any kind of individual, when I classify Dr. Strange is essentially a Sage. He is somebody who has mastered the skills, but he has also done a lot of study, not just in the area of magic, but also in the area of health, in the human body, in the way of how we operate. The DM has control interpreting how the secret information you can get access to. So when you go to seek your information, the Dungeon Master has to interpret that. So it does require a Dungeon Master who is going to allow you some scope for that. Even for your amazing intellect, you may require a bit more than just, I can do it because it's part of my background. This is my feature. So like all things in Dungeons & Dragons, there is a bit of a requirement to make sure that your Dungeon Master will play along with you. Otherwise, can be not quite so much fun, right? Some knowledge can't be found. It is lost to time or rests in an ancient hidden location. And of course, Gandalf and Dumbledore, they all had to deal with the same issue. Information they need to seek and find. And therefore became much more difficult to access. Dumbledore in particular really didn't know exactly what was going on with regard to Voldemort, but over time will seek out and find that information. It's not just about knowing stuff, it's about knowing how to find stuff and how to research and think. And that's certainly part and parcel of a Sage. Possibly unearthing the deepest and darkest secrets of the multiverse will require following the adventure path. And this is really what your Dungeon Master is going to be doing, right? They're going to lay out something, you'll follow that path, and hopefully you'll take, which pill will it be? Will it be the blue pill? Will it be the red pill? You make that decision. You take the path that you think is most sensible and seek out the information you require, just as Morpheus did. Select or create a personality trait or personality traits, usually about 2, an ideal, a bond, a flaw, and there are many flaws. And ultimately, your greatest strength as a Sage may in fact be your greatest flaw as well. The thing that is your greatest strength can also be your greatest flaw. Why not? Now, there is a whole lot of charts in the player's handbook that you can use, or you can just select what you like, or you can make up your own stuff. There's no sort of hard and fast rule with regard to this. Remember, there's no absolutes. There are only options and possibilities in the world. Life is a delicate piece of instrumentation, okay? You are dedicated to extensive study and research, devoting your time to the pursuit of knowledge and information, whether that be lost in time or waiting to be found. It's really up to you. Devoted to the pursuit of finding an answer to every question you might have about the world, or accepting what you know and realizing your limitations. There are so many awesome characters in fiction that are available, whether they be in comic book, or movie, such as Yoda, Dumbledore, Gandalf, Doctor Strange. All of these are fantastic characters. I actually really enjoy playing a sage. I know a lot of players at my table don't quite understand that, but it's because when I'm building my character, it's usually going to be based around knowledge anyway. And so by having those two skills in knowledge, arcana, and history, I really only need to pick up two more, and I've covered all of my bases. So when somebody has to ask a question, one, I should have like a high intelligence if I'm going to be going with something like a background in this area. It makes a lot of sense. And also two, if somebody has a question, I'm the guy. I'm the guy who can answer that question. I'm the one they're going to come and ask, and I might very well be the individual responsible for providing them with the vital piece of information that will allow them to continue. Now, I have, as it happens, some more videos. One on the sailor background, if you're interested in watching that sometime. I have hundreds of videos for players and dungeon masters, which you're welcome to go and check out if you want to. I have a Patreon page where you can help support me, get access to videos that go unlisted and that are only for patrons, and priority on what I make. I have a Amazon affiliate link, and I have an affiliate link to the book depository if you want to help support the channel. I also have a merchandise shelf now, which has got a whole lot of merchandise on it. Make sure to share, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell button to be notified when I go live and when I publish new videos. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s. Maybe roll 2.